There's a new study out that anxiety about climate collapse and collapse in general is actually warping our sense of time. Like we're warping our physical sense of time. The constant anxiety of specifically eco collapse, the idea that we're running out of time to solve this problem, is literally rewiring parts of our brain that impact and understand how time operates. And of course, we're completely and constantly reminded of the precariousness of the situation, whether that's extreme weather events or scientific reports talking about how we've reached a tipping point. This creates that temporal pressure. And the researchers stated, we are asked to act now on causes rooted in the past to avoid consequences that may only materialize in the future. So we have to act now on things that we didn't necessarily cause or we may not have a future. The reason this anxiety affects your perception of times, you sort of have like an internal metronome of time, the internal clock, if you will. And it's like a steady sort of clock ticking away, ticking away, ticking away. And when you're calm, that internal clock operates at a regular pace. But we're just constantly in a state of anxiety. And that high psychological activation is literally messing with how we perceive all of that. And anxiety creates an attention bias, so you're naturally more predisposed to be paying attention to this. And the constant uncertain threat of climate change specifically is causing us to have this constant focus of being in a state of high alert. I would argue that that's happening now with the government and the economy, all those things all at once. And then the result of that is that we feel overwhelmed and our brains can't keep up. Here are some things people said about this. One person says, I'm not planning to plan for retirement anymore, and I'm living in the moment. That has relieved a lot of the stress for me. Someone said, September was the longest decade of the year. Another person says, there's so much uncertainty in the world, it's hard to wrap your head sometimes around, and that personally causes me anxiety. Another person says, it's October. Mentally, I'm still in May. I know this seems like an ephemeral statement, but please try to take care of yourself and find some space and time for you to do something that makes you feel well. It matters, even if your sense of time is messed up.